everybody's comments and not just on Twitch. Okay, it is me and Perry today. Part 2 character
Hello.
design. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and say hi, Perry.
Oh, okay. Hello.
All right. Ray Ray is not with us. Ray Ray has a sick baby bunny that she's taking care of. So we hope Sugar has a quick recovery. And Ray Ray's able to come back next week. Until then, thoughts and prayers to Sugar. And let's get cracking.
It sounds like Sugar's gonna be okay.
Yeah, yes.
So what Ray said, it sounds like Sugar's gonna be okay.
Yep.
She's just now, recovering.
We don't want anyone to be alarmed, but
Yeah. No bunnies are in a fatal condition.
Right.
Bunnies do be safe.
And bunnies are pretty fragile, so but sounds like Sugar's gonna be okay. All right. So anyway, where we left off last time, let's just do a little bit of a recap. We have our silhouettes. So I've taken our favorite silhouette, which was number 3, put it on its own layer, blown it up a little bit bigger because we're doing the line art today. And so I didn't want to do all the line art and then have it be a low resolution. If I'm going to do the line art on it, I want it to be a high resolution. So create a floating layer above, line art layer. Let's double check, make sure our pencil's in the right position. Got the right pencil. And let's get to work. We've already been chatting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
interesting stuff. What's that?
I was gonna say I forgot about this one with the fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So we toyed with the idea of putting the bat wings in, but it sort of destroyed the silhouette, whereas the fingers kept the silhouette really interesting. So we may or may, we'll probably do the wings on a separate layer, and then keep all the rest of the pencils. Anywho, but yeah, let's go ahead and get going with this. I'm going to go ahead and draw the other side of the mouth.
Like forked tongue is wild.
Yes, it is.
Like in a good way. It's cool.
And it will all make sense. There's a reason. There's a reason for everything. Okay. Imported. Procreate recently did the recent brushes, which I haven't gotten used to yet. So I may or may. Oof, that's really big. All right.
You hate it, but I've grown to really enjoy the recent feature.
Well, it's what you're used to. So if you can, hey, Mark's on. Mark May, how we doing, buddy? If you, whenever a new feature comes out, if you can learn to use it and incorporate it into your workflow, the better off you're going to be. And the sooner the better. It's people who have been working on, they basically have a workflow, and it comes in, and the change disrupts that workflow. That's where it gets frustrating. So you just have to learn to deal with constant changes. So we got my buddy Mark May. Mark, did you survive the wildfires in Colorado? Give us an update, buddy. How's the house doing? How's the family doing? Did you hear about the Colorado wildfires? I can't speak.
Oh, which like that? It's winter.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on fire? I thought Denver was known for being, snowy.
Well, Mark just said the snow's what saved him. So, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, what happened is they had a wildfire, and then the winds got up to 100 miles an hour, which I've never heard of winds getting up to 100 miles an hour without like a tornado or something, or a hurricane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. And then, so what happened is the fire hit that wind and I think they said 10,000 homes burnt down, or 1,000 homes, or not quite sure, but yeah. So Mark had just moved into a new house and had to evacuate like first thing. We call it the Hellbringer's Curse. We were talking about ghost stories before, and now anyway, we have a theory about the curse of Hellbringers, but it's just a theory, not to scare anyone away. This is supposed to be an educational stream, so
Well, you could educate us on the Hellbringers curse.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe keep it a little bit more academic and a little less entertaining, but we're glad you made it through, Mark. Family intact, everyone's A-okay. That's always good news.
That's a lot of teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Like I said, I don't like sparkly vampires. Although they were fun to draw. We're not gonna rule out sparkly, sexy vampires. Not yet. But for the purposes of this live stream, we're doing crazy monster, alien, symbiote.
Depending on what kind of skin it has, like it doesn't necessarily have to be like glittery, but if it hits the sun just right,
They burst into flame.
Oh, okay, right, that's true.
No, but I have a theory about how that's going to work too. So, thank you, Mark. Mark says he's psyched for the book.
Sweet.
2022, hopefully, going to be our year, folks. Lots of stuff happening. So, don't get too far into your drawing without zooming out and making sure that your anatomy is going where you want it to go. That line is a bad line. All right. Speaking of lines.
When the stream is done, I'm going to take a nap. I woke up at 5:30 this morning.
Why? Just...
So, because, I'll be honest, I had to go get my hair re-dyed.
Okay.
But my stylist couldn't be there until, like, 7.
Okay.
Like, I say it as though, like, she would come in earlier. No, she's like, yeah, I can do 7, and it takes me, like, about an hour to get ready, and I was going to stop and get coffee.
Okay.
So
that required you waking up that early, huh?
Because you figure 5:30 to 6:30, and that gives me a half hour to get there and to go get coffee.
See, with Joy being gone, Joy's down in Cedar taking care of her dad right now. Mm-hmm. And with Joy being gone, everything she does like makes absolute sense because the kids have to be up ready for school. I mean, I'm waking up like earlier than I've ever woke up, and it's the worst. It is. I'm not a morning person. I am a night person.
Same.
And
I can stay up. Like I can stay up until like 2, 3 in the morning, easy.
Yep.
But you try to wake me up at even like 7. I'm just like no.
Yeah.
But heart, it is not happening. Once
I go to bed, I'm in bed. That's it. It's just like boom, boom, done. Lights out. But if I can stay awake, I can force myself to stay awake. That was one of the things we were chatting before the live stream started. We were chatting about tips and tricks on like how to keep yourself awake. And one of those tricks is eating sunflower seeds. Another one is to watch horror movies in the background as you draw, because if you're scared and freaked out, you're not going to go to sleep.
This is one horror movie that I'm just gonna recommend real quick because I personally love it, and I don't know if a lot of people know about it. It's a Korean horror movie. It's called The Wailing.
Never heard of it. But a lot of my favorite shows are like these Korean shows on Netflix. There's a new sci-fi one out that I've been digging. Has the same cast as Squid Game too. A lot of the same actors. Kabong Inc. Welcome. Sorry.
Hello.
Keep going.
You're good. So, it's like a Korean possession film, because that's probably my favorite genre of horror. I don't really care about slasher films. I much prefer, like, paranormal, thriller, like, mind, psychological of things, which, given what I've told you about how my brain can't separate fiction from reality, is a super great thing for me to do.
Yeah.
Indulge in.
Yeah.
But...
your therapist loves it.
Yeah, it's a bold assumption. I have one of those.
I was just teasing, but
no, here's I probably should. Just like the 2 therapists that I've seen in my day, which I mean, I understand it's kind of like you could probably go to 100 therapists and find one good one that really works for you. But the 2 therapists I've been to, I'm like, don't feel like I've really like learned anything. Like I've already dissected my brain,
Yeah.
and I don't really know what to do with it at this point. That's why I'm here. So
I think that's a good lesson for everybody. You know, a lot of people, like, if they get a doctor, they don't understand that doctors are people too, and that there's good doctors and bad doctors, or maybe doctors that just aren't a good fit for them.
yeah,
And yeah, you need to make sure that you shop around for healthcare professionals, because they are not created equal.
yeah.
So
Like absolutely nothing against the therapists that I have seen. Yeah, I just don't think they were,
for you,
for
yeah,
me. But
yeah.
I'm sure for someone else, it could be stellar, and they could be, exactly what that person needs.
Well, and I'll give you another example. Like, I had a therapist who basically thought the exact same way I did, and we got nothing done. Does that make sense? Because we were just too much alike. And then
Yeah.
I had a couple of therapists who would always give me these really unique points of view, and those were the therapists that were really beneficial. And so maybe, like I said, maybe it wasn't so much, incompetency, but just a bad fit. You can have a therapist that's a bad fit. So anyway, maybe we should talk about
Yeah, so
the art stuff. This is supposed to be. Hey kids, the
Therapy.
lessons on concept art, but we're talking about therapy.
just to wrap up my little like movie plug, yeah, The Wailing, I think it's on Amazon Prime right now.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a Korean possession film. I think it's really cool. By the end of the film, I had no idea what to believe or who to trust, and it was very entertaining.
I like how Korea's stepping up at their game.
Like it was interesting because, of course, a lot of the paranormal films that I watch normally, they bring in some old guy and he's like, I am the exorcist. And he performs the whole Christian exorcism, like,
Yeah.
the power of Christ compels you.
Right. The whole
In this
70s
one,
Platty exorcist novel /
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, they do kind of do like a exorcism thing, but it's a shaman instead. So it's like a completely different ritual from anything I've seen before.
Well, and that's what's
I'm like,
interesting,
huh.
where, we were talking about before. It's interesting how, even though different cultures are separated, not necessarily the same beliefs, same religion, but it's like every culture has like the same thing. Like, every culture has a vampire. Every culture has a Sasquatch. Every culture has a Yeti. Every culture has, or not a Yeti, sorry, a werewolf. So it's just interesting where it's like, we have all these different belief systems, yet here are these things that we can't agree on things like religion, but when it comes to like monsters, demons, haunting, exorcism, possession, everybody agrees, same thing, just different place. So, but that is, I'll check it out. Sounds like fun.
Back to the education. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
So, okay, did it, just to recap just a little bit. We started with
Hi, Egg Foo.
silhouettes. Hey, it's Egg Foo. Started with the silhouettes. We got some interesting shapes, and now we're working on part 2. And for me, that's just coming in and doing line. Okay, so we're just basically defining what goes inside that shape. None of this is set in stone. This is basically, we're just having fun with it still. But so far, I'm pretty happy. This is like a really nice, creepy, cracked out vampire look. So
Imagine running into that in a cave.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, I haven't actually seen this movie, but I have an idea of what the creatures look like. It reminds me of The Descent.
Oh, really cool. Because, well, I've seen that movie. And, caves, monsters in caves, bats. It's all tied together.
Especially like, just kind of looking at what you have here, it doesn't really look like there's any like defined eyes or anything, which if you figure it is like a cave dwelling
Right.
creature, maybe it doesn't necessarily need eyes. It just focuses on like smell and sound.
Or echolocation.
Because it's a bat.
Yeah. It's a daredevil bat.
those like little like platelets or something to go on the head, or
I can tell you, but it's a superhero secret. But you remember what I was Googling before?
right.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're getting at.
Yes.
Okay, well that is a fun little detail that we will not expound upon. You're just gonna have to read the freaking book
You're gonna have to read the
to
book.
understand what's going on.
You're gonna have to
Yeah,
read the book.
yeah, you're just gonna have to wait and see because let me tell you, that's a neat detail based on what I know.
Yeah.
I'm being sincere. I know I sound sarcastic.
No, it should be fun. It should be a fun new take
Mhm.
on a story that everyone thinks they know. So
Yeah. That will be cool.
Marvin's on. Hey, Marvin. Marvin is my friend from Germany. Long
Nice.
time no see. Thank you, sir. We miss you. I wish Joy was here. I'd tell her right now. She's in Cedar City taking care of her dad. So it's been a I'm glad 2021's over. I'm hoping 2022's better. She had a really rough year last year.
Yeah.
But we miss you guys. Hope Germany's doing better than we are. For sure I will. Now this is going to be a nightmare to draw on a comic page with all these details. So maybe I will go back to just sort of having a smoother...
I mean, you could always. It's so cool though. Like
know.
I understand that. I understand that it would be a pain to have to repeat over and over and over again, but like, look at it.
Well, here's
Sick.
Another thing I'm toying with is doing this in Nomad, and then having the model, and then 3D printing out the model.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And then running like a comic filter on it. So, anyway, we'll see. Just trying to speed things up. Always trying to speed things up.
It was like work smarter, not harder.
Yep. The old Scrooge McDuck added.
Yeah, I finally watched Muppets Christmas Carol.
What'd you
Holidays.
think?
It was fine.
When'd you watch it?
It's the Muppets. Did I watch it? Or
Yeah,
where?
When? Did you watch it after Christmas or before Christmas?
I want to say I watched it on Christmas.
Did you? Good.
I think so.
I am a huge Christmas Carol fan. I'm not a religious person, but I like the message of the Christmas Carol. Because basically he's the one. Charles Dickens is the one that basically brought in the whole charity, goodwill towards men. That was all him.
Mm. I mean, he made one heck of a social commentary.
Right, exactly. So, I like that. You know, you don't have to necessarily, you know, you can be a good person, you know, and that book focuses on being a good person, not necessarily the religious side, just the being a decent human being side. So, even if you're not religious, I think you can pick up a Christmas Carol and have a Merry Christmas and hope for a better world or make a better world, you know. But I do. And if you've never read, have you read A Christmas Carol?
So I listened to the audiobook read by Tim Curry.
Okay. Oh, right. So there's another one that's audio with Jim Dale. So
Okay.
if you're a fan of good audiobooks, get the Jim Dale version as well. But yeah, people don't realize the book is really bite-sized. It's almost a pamphlet. It may be you could read it in 3 hours. You could read it together as a family in one night. It's not a long book. You know, some of Charles Dickens' books are mammoth, just huge. So, and we got Russian bots on our YouTube. Welcome, Russian bots.
Ooh. Hello. My
I
cat's
know.
name is Soviet.
Yeah. We will break you.
Yeah, no, one thing, when I was listening to the audiobook, one thing that threw me off so badly was when they were talking about, like, English pudding. I'm
Yeah.
like, why is everyone getting so hyped up over pudding? Like, what is this? Then I show up to class, and they're like, pudding means cake. It's like a cake dessert. And I'm like, what?
Huh.
That,
Why can't they just call it cake? Why can't they call cookies cookies?
it's
And
probably
chips,
just like a,
chips?
it's just like a language thing. I mean,
Yeah.
they could say the same thing about us. Like, British people could say the same thing. Like, why do Americans call them fries? Where did that come from? They're not French. Why do they call them French fries?
Well, where did they come from then?
Fries?
Yeah. Did the
I have no idea.
Did the English make chips?
Yeah,
Or did
that's
the
the thing.
French make chips?
I don't think it was the French. I don't feel confident in saying this, but for some reason I want to say they're Dutch. Don't know.
Really?
Like, I have no idea. That's the thing. Do not quote me on that whatsoever. Like, I'm gonna look it up now.
I'm pretty sure if it's a good tasting food, the French did it. I think that's a safe bet. I think everything that tastes wonderful and is decadent was invented by the French. I seriously, it's amazing. I didn't get to see the Eiffel Tower, but I got to eat French food, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could never live here. I'd just be the Baron Harkonnen walking around eating 24/7. The croissants alone. Oh my gosh, the croissants alone.
Croissants actually aren't French.
What? Well, they've perfected it.
Yeah, that's true. I want to say I was on a French river cruise back in 2017, and the our, like, hostess lady that was telling us things. She was like, hey everybody, like, trying to engage everyone. She's like, was this French or was it not French? And she brought up croissants, and everyone's like, oh, they're French. And she's like, no, they're not. Everyone on that boat was shook.
Shock. Huh. So who made them? Dutch?
Yeah, I'm gonna credit the Dutch with everything for some reason. Let me see. I'm still trying to find. Oh, okay, here we go. So, place of origin. Apparently, it's disputed for French fries. It's either Belgium or France. So.
Okay. See, Belgium though. Belgium is right on the border of all these countries. And when you go to Belgium, like, people speak like 8 different languages. So
they're a partial, like, French-speaking country.
Like, if Belgium made it, then you just sort of got to credit Europe as a whole, because there's like no Belgians from Belgium. They're all from like 7 different places. It's insane. It's wonderful though, and they have good food too. Waffles and chocolate. Hats off to Belgium.
For sure.
Yeah.
According to what I was reading, the way French fries made it over to America was because of Thomas Jefferson, because he was like an ambassador over in France for a while.
There you go.
They're saying that, yeah, Jefferson brought the idea over here. And as for croissants, let's see. I'm just going to read this little thing. I believe it's off of Wikipedia.
This is so educational.
Yeah, see, we're making it educational.
You know what though? Like, okay, how would I describe? It's like, watch me draw. How would I describe what I'm doing right now? I'm just drawing. Arts is a visual thing. If you want to learn, you just sort of have to watch me. I mean, I guess I could talk about it, but anyway, you go ahead with the French thing, and then come back, and then maybe be like, "Hey, Chad, maybe explain what you're doing here." And
I'll just, like, segue into it after.
There you go.
I'm explaining the croissant.
Artfully segue, yes.
Okay, so the birth of the croissant itself, that is an adaptation of the planar form of Kipferl, spelled Aipferl, before the invention of the, I don't even know what that word, hold on, viennoiseries, and be dated to at least 1839, some say 1838, when an Austrian artillery officer, August Zane, founded a Viennese bakery, Boulangerie Viennoise, at 92, Rue de Clichelou in Paris,
I'm
I
glad you're
believe.
reading this because you speak French, and I would just be
Please just
slaughtering.
input. So yeah, it sounds like they are Austrian
Okay.
or Viennese. Well, because Viennese, that would be like Venice,
Yeah.
I believe. So yeah, something around there is where the croissant came from.
Well, and it's interesting that how it egg food says Vienna. So it's interesting how foods sort of disperse like that, like pizza. Pizza
Hmm.
became a thing because of American soldiers in
Vienna.
Italy. Like, so it's interesting that artillery officers, whenever people go to war, it's like wherever they're blowing stuff up at, they're like, man, I really want that food. They bring it to their country. So,
Here, egg foo in the chat correct me, Vienna.
yeah,
That makes sense. Thank you, egg foo.
egg foo is a useful guy.
Hey there, Chad. What you doing?
I'm drawing stuff.
Oh, what you drawing?
Drawing the
Can you
vampires.
explain?
You know, okay, so, right now I'm just sort of trying to keep a loose anatomy, sort of with the same theme of what's going on here. Almost this organic biomechanical carapace. I'm going to have areas that are nice and smooth and then areas that are sort of scary and spiky.
When you say loose anatomy, is that just because like it's pretty, loosely drawn, or is it because it looks like your vampire's midsection is just pretty much gutted, like you could see the bones or something.
Yeah,
So it's just like loose viscera.
yeah, so obviously I'm humanoid in the appearance. So I want to keep it. I want to keep it something that reminds us of human, but at the same time, obviously more than human.
Hmm.
So I want it to make sense. I want it to be familiar, and then at the same time, I want it to be terrifying and scary too. So I'm blocking in some basic, I like obviously like there's an indication right here of where the sternum would be. And then these can actually be, if you look at these carapace sections, they roughly outline the deltoids in the arm. So when you look at it, it'll have the appearance of anatomy, human anatomy, and it'll have the appearance of strength because basically we're there's obviously there's no fat on our vampire. He's a lean, mean fighting machine, and then at the same time, just having the biomechanical growth, just sort of going crazy, which makes it look threatening and scary. So I'm doing these things. If I like it, it stays. If I don't like it, I erase it and start over. But
There's just kind of a lot of almost like trial and error.
yeah, and you're gonna do that when you concept stuff out. If you like it, leave it. If you don't like it, take it out. Try something else.
Because I remember in the concept class when we had the creature units, I remember going through different things, and it's kind of like you say you want to keep it more like man-shaped or like kind of humanoid.
Yeah,
Something. So when you're doing something like this, do you just you keep the basic human shape, but you're like, oh, how do I amp it up? Is that kind of like the
yeah.
okay? I'm trying to think about like how to break this down to the fundamentals if this is supposed to be like a educational video for a class, like getting down to like the mindset behind this.
Yeah, and and don't get me wrong. If you're gonna watch a 2-hour art video, I'm glad that we're talking about some crazy stuff because let's face it, that's the only way people are gonna watch for that long.
I can absolutely keep talking about food because here's the thing.
Right.
Okay, well, because if the concept class is at the same time as when I had it, which is like 5:30 in the evening,
Right.
oh, students are gonna hate me if I don't shut up about food.
Well,
Like that's kind of fueling me to talk about food.
but that's well, and that's the the pitfall of having classes that late where everyone in there is just like, I want to go home. I want to go to, I want to go home. I want to
all
eat
of us,
dinner.
every class.
And I want to go to bed. And that everyone just sort of came in with that mentality.
We all showed up like, hey, we're starving.
Yeah.
What if we just left?
Yeah. What if we went to the mall and drew people at the mall at the food court, and maybe we got a Tuesday.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. Honestly, I once did that at a Starbucks. It was when I was getting ready for my BFA portfolio. I was like, I need to draw more people. I just need to like show something. So yeah, sat in a Starbucks lobby and just drew random customers that came in. I was like, okay, this doing something.
No, that used to be a big thing. Matter of fact, there used to be a group in it was like Mel Milton.
I remember that. Yeah, they'd get together for like art lunches.
Yeah, they would get a few other of like the really famous Utah peeps. Johnny's like, let's go and draw with them. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm always just too busy. I had too much stuff going on. I can never break away.
It's interesting to see, like, basically transferring over a real life person into an illustration, because I can draw characters over and over and over again, but I feel like sometimes I run the risk of having almost like same face syndrome.
Yeah.
Because, after a while, I can't remember every single, like, little facial detail I can change up, like different nose shapes, different eye shapes. You just kind of fall into a rhythm after a while.
Right.
So it's kind of fun to almost do like a mental reset. Or, you go somewhere public and see a bunch of different varieties of people with a bunch of different varieties of styles and features and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No,
I remember this one guy. I remember this one guy specifically. He came in and he had like super straight, like shoulder length, really dark hair, and he was wearing this like burgundy suit and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I need to draw you before you leave. And I even think he had like eyeliner on or something. And I'm like, I need to draw you before you get out of here. Like,
no, it's amazing. New York is a great place to do it. If you ever go to Central Park, holy cow.
That'd be fun.
Lots of fun.
Ultima Studios, the chat, there's actually a comment I missed. I'm sorry. It says, your artwork is incredible, and this monster is similar to the monster my team drew.
Oh. Ultima Studios, huh?
Hmm?
Well, good. I think that's good. I hope that's good. Hope I don't get sued for copyright infringement.
Jeez. Oh, yeah, that's one way to...
Yes, we can get messages from YouTube. Mecha Jared's here. Mecha Jared was ready to jump on with us. Yeah.
I finally went to the Bombay house.
Was it good?
Real quick, Ultima Studios. Yeah, it's good. It's a cool design.
Cool.
Bombay house, delicious. I loved it.
No, wait, hang on. Did you say you went to the Bombay house, or you went to a new place?
I went to the Bombay house.
You went? Okay, yeah, I love the Bombay house. Mm-hmm. It is really good.
It was so good. Like, I got what the heck is it called? It's called like the Bollywood chicken, I think.
Huh.
It's like a coconut curry, and they also serve it with pineapple. So it's almost like pina colada.
Oof.
That is what pina colada is, but it's basically like a pina colada curry. Ultima says, we're making a video game with demonic monsters with a similar kind of feel.
Cool.
That's cool.
Plug it, Ultima.
Wait.
Plug it. Put it on here.
He said, can I post a link to our design? Go for it.
Sure, yeah.
That'd be cool to see.
I mean, this is basically... So the whole reason why we're doing this is we're training artists at Utah Valley University. This is actually for a digital painting class. There's one assignment where students are concept art, doing a concept art assignment as part of the digital painting. But there's no reason why... I also teach the concept art class, so when I get done with this, I'll turn around and I'll put it on both classes. But we're creating YouTube videos as opposed to, well, there's we're having a lot of problems with our video service. I think it's just overwhelmed with all the COVID and streaming, and so we're basically putting all of our educational videos up on YouTube, so students can have easier access to it, and then sort of skim through it. Plus, YouTube's really good about doing closed captioning and making it accessible to everyone. Whereas if I did it,
Oh.
Go ahead, Perry. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think what also is nice is that once, the class is over,
Yeah.
they can just hop on YouTube and watch it again.
Exactly. And perfectly said. Where, yeah, when you're done with the class, you know where it's at. If you ever need to watch it again, you can go back and watch it again. So, yes. So, we're putting everything on YouTube. Yay, YouTube. But that also means I need to go back and edit some of my foul language, my dirty, dirty mouth.
Cockadoodie language.
I know. I'm like the only person I know that says things like cockadoodie and then turns around and drops an F-bomb.
Oh my gosh. Which, I'm looking in the chat and...
It's not letting Ultima post the link because of the bots.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. So, I don't know, Ultima, is there somewhere else where we could maybe see it or something? Like, name of a website we could go to? Because, yeah, I'm not sure if chat will actually let you...
the bots are...
the link in there.
The bots are censoring things.
Oh, the bots.
It's the COVID bots. Oh, now we're getting flagged again. Good job, Perry. You're supposed to be watching me, keeping me from doing things like that.
Should I just get, like, an air horn?
Yeah.
Something? Or, like...
Yeah.
If I were there, I'd have a spray bottle.
Yeah. No, we need to get you one of those stream decks where you can just sort of push a button and it rewinds and just deletes it. Let's see. It says our website is going up within next week. Would an imager? I don't know. You can try and post it. I'm just not sure if it will. I'm just not sure if it will or not. So, but go ahead and try. We'll any way we can help promote, we will do it. If maybe add us as a friend, and then I'll link to your Twitch channel, since you're on Twitch. So.
So I'd love to see some cool demon designs.
Yeah.
I like demon. We were talking about, ghosts and demons and stuff before the stream, and like I have a fascination with them.
Well, if they're also making Ultimate's blocking it again. But I also have students that need work. So if you like this, I'm teaching students how to do it, and we'll send them your way when we're done. So because kids like jobs, believe it or not, they really do. It's amazing how that works.
Oh yes, I loves me a good job. That like lets me draw and stuff.
Now, Perry, can you talk about what you're doing as a little NDA?
I'm gonna treat it as NDA right now. I'm not like officially under an NDA, but I'm still gonna
loose lips sink ships.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Technically, the job hasn't even like started, but
okay.
No, I want to be cautious, and I'm optimistic.
No, that is a good attitude to have, because you don't want to get on the internet, blab about something, and then find out from a phone call that you weren't supposed to talk about it. That's Russ is on. Russ is like, is this my cover? Speaking about being late. So with all the shenanigans, and Perry knows what's going on, I would tell people, I would get on the internet and I would just say like, hey, what's going on? I hate talking about family, like personal stuff, but trust me, I'm getting to everybody's stuff as fast as I possibly can. It says we're making a rogue light tactics RPG a couple months out from an investor. All right, sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, congratulations.
Yeah. Sounds like you're ready to rock and roll. I'm just zooming out, making sure that my lines are holding up. So, Russ, how are things going in Creator Comic Land, buddy? Russ, you should plug your stuff too. Don't put up any links. It's just going to block you. But maybe put the name of what you're doing and where they can find it. You're a good bud. You know, and I think this is, Perry, this is probably another good lesson for students. You know, while you guys are doing homework and while you're doing your assignments, it wouldn't hurt you to get on Discord, make a Discord group, stream while you draw, and build your audience. Because, I mean, look at what just happened with Ultima Studios popping on here. If you're sitting here doing your concept artwork while you're drawing it, and you're a concept artist, and you need work, how cool is it that a video game developer is like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for work, but, you know, that might be a good way to get a job. So, anyway,
that's why, you know, I...
Keep going, Perry. You take over.
Because I was just telling you before before our stream, that's why, you know, I finally got all the software downloaded. You know, I figured out how to do, like, the mirroring for my iPad and whatnot, so... you know, this does seem like a cool way to get to know people, share your work, and that kind of stuff. And plus, it's like, if I'm going to be drawing anyways...
right.
Why not share what I'm doing?
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're doing. Let's see. J.D. Smith, digital artist. No one likes watching me draw stick figures. Hey, you know what? People make a lot of money drawing stick figures. What's that? Gosh, what's that one I follow? I want to say Oatmeal, but that's not it. Anyway, just put jokes with your stick figures. You'll be fine. It says, we're doing a comic in March called Charms about a girl that has a magical charm bracelet that can bring her animal charms to life. And Mr. Harden is doing
cool.
a cover. Very true. Very true. And I'm going to put the spit and shine on it, my friend.
And here we missed a comment from Ultima Studios.
Oh,
it says, I'm actually here because I was scouring Twitch to recruit for our team. We need a 2D generalist / concept artist.
Well, Perry...
My soon as your stream.
Yeah.
Looking at your stuff.
Yeah, maybe there's got to be a way that they can give us contact info without sharing it with the entire world. Message me on Twitch, and I will let my students know, because we have a lot of students that are phenomenal and that will be graduating. So, yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh. My brain cannot comprehend that Monday is the first day of my last semester.
So you're so close.
Weird. No, it's weird.
3 months, you're gonna be free. You will be a free person.
So it looks like the email kind of worked.
Oh, good.
Ultima, it just like it took out the last little bit. Like it went at, and then it's the little asterisk signs. I'm not sure like what the official address was supposed to be. I think the .com probably is what made it.
Okay.
Okay. It's Gmail.
All right, there we go. All right. Okay, we will get that, and I will let my class students and alumni know. That's phenomenal. Tell us where you're at. I know. Well, but there's a good reason we do it. Obviously, if you watch streams, you can't just let the Russian robots run wild, right? So, but yeah, tell us where you're at so I can. Because if you're in Utah, that'd almost be too good. Yeah, those darn bots. They ruin everything. The days before 2-point authentication. Ugh. So I'm doing a little bit of hatching here. So if you look at this foot and you look at the angle, the foot goes back. I need to create like the sense of depth where this is receding. And then come in here and do a little bit of foreshortening, because this foot, we see it from the side, and this one we're seeing it from the front. So I'm going to need to make sure that anatomy makes sense even at a different angle. So anyway, if you're wondering why I'm hatching there, that's why I'm hatching. And then when I paint this, none of this is going to matter. but I'm a comic book person. So for comic book people, lines are more important than, the rendered form.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done enough digital painting that it's not going to be an issue. I'll just paint it out later. I'll set up my line art layers, a clipping mask, and then just paint over everything.
The Ultima says most of our team is in Florida, but we all work remotely.
Nice.
We've got some team members from Texas, New Hampshire, and one even in Spain.
There we go. That's perfect. Well, I will make sure that my students know and drop you some links. Because we have some
cool.
Now I want to go grab everyone's assignment and just be like, yeah, here's what we did.
A little folder,
semester.
And it's like, yeah. Especially, so I'm still hung up on the demon design thing because I'm like, ooh, demons.
Yeah, I know. Right? Well, that's what we're talking about, right before the stream, all the scary.
Well, plus, I mean, you remember Lucky, the little crazy jester thing I drew up.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
I love him. He's kind of terrifying, but
yeah,
I love that crazy kid. Ultima says, can I DM someone the link?
Yes. Yes, Jared, your comments are getting through, bud.
I forget that there are other areas where they're commenting because I can only see the
I have the
Twitch
multi-stream through Streamlabs, so I can see everyone's. You're just seeing Twitch, right, Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perry.
Oh, I'm assuming I'm the mysterious voice.
You're the mysterious voice. Perry's the mysterious voice.
Yeah, let me type my username in the chat. Yeah. I am Parasite.
Oh. Perry, I messed up.
Did you mess up?
I drew the leg. I didn't draw the hand in front of the leg. It's not a bad mistake. I can fix this real easy. But still, it was sort of a rookie mistake. This is what happened. This is why you don't zoom in super close when you're working. You'll make a really dumb mistake like that. See, I got target fixated on the leg and then didn't realize that this hand goes in front of the leg. Anyway. So when you guys see me and I'm digitally painting and I zoom out far and then I zoom in, that's what I'm doing. I'm basically changing my views. And there's a reason for it. And there's a really loud, scary noise in my house, but other people are home, so hopefully they will die first, and I'll die last. Ultima Online was an old school MMO, around the time of EverQuest. If this is the same Ultima.
Yeah, they just barely DM'd me the link to look at the demon.
Okay. You want to pop it in Discord?
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that so that you can see it as well. I'm gonna do some computer stuff, like save an image. Here we go. That should be in the Discord now.
Okay, let me take a look. Now, is this Ultima Studios? Is this NDA stuff, or is this stuff I can share?
I wasn't sure if I could say anything about the details.
Yeah, let me bring up my Discord real quick. Oh, fun, cool. Let's see what it says. Johnny's on here. Woo! Johnny and I were supposed to hang out and watch Boba Fett, and then my daughter got quarantined. Okay, all right. So we won't post it. Oh, we can show it on the stream. Okay, so let's see if we can. Oh, hold on. All right. Oh, wait, Perry, can I show our Discord, or is that breach of etiquette? Here, hold on. Let me open it in Photoshop real quick. I'll open it in Photoshop.
They probably don't show like the full
Yeah.
Discord chat.
Yeah, I'll just hold on. Give me one sec. Yeah, we gotta get Perry. We gotta show him your art because this would be right up your alley. Let's see, copy image, and I'm gonna paste it over the reference image that we had. Control V. All right, here we go. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, and then I'll bring it over here just for a sec. There we go. So here is the art from Ultima. Cool. Yeah.
It's cool. I like all the fiery, like all the fire details and whatnot. And it's like I like that there's kind of holes in the skin, almost like the skin itself is like a shell.
Yeah.
It's just like this like inferno on the inside.
Yeah, very cool. Cool. Nice. I like this too. All right, there you go. So look for this from Ultima Studios. Fun. But yeah, I think that's great though that, you know, if you're a student, you're watching this. Because one of the things I tell my students all the time is that it's a do as I say, not as I do. But if you're doing this, you might as well be doing it on social media, be putting yourself out there, because this is how recruitment happens nowadays.
Yeah.
It used to be you went and you had an interview, or you went and you submitted your portfolio. Those days are gone. Those days are gone and over. They're not coming back. You need to be out here, like, creating the artwork, putting your artwork out there so people can see it. And, that's how connections are made now. So I'm glad that this happened during an education stream, because like I said, it'd be really fun for students to watch that and see. Because lots of times I think I say stuff and people, students, there's this weird relationship that develops between teacher and student. And this happened when we went to CTNX, but like all the lessons we taught in the concept art class, we go to CTNX and they're like, everything you said, that's what they said too. And I'm like, did you think I was lying? Like what? Of course.
It's kind of like when your parents tell you something,
right? Exactly.
And, you're like, you're just telling me that because like you're my parent, but then it actually happens, and it's like, oh wait, you're speaking from life experience.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly.
I've arrested Chadzilla, who's talking with you on stream. So hi, I'm Perry, your parasite. I am Chad's intern and student.
Yes.
Like one of Chad's interns. That's my deal.
Super talented. And available as soon as they graduate.
Oh.
See.
Will be in May, which is still so strange to think about. Like this whole semester, I know I'm going to say it over and over again. This is weird. For the past couple of years, it's like, okay, cool. What am I doing all year? I'm going to go to school. Well, not this fall.
Yeah. Now it gets real. Now it gets real.
I'm getting behind on the chat. Let's see.
I'm laughing at JD Smith, but this is for kids. I'm not going to read that one. I don't. But you made me chuckle, sir.
Ultima Studios said, I made a lot of friends with famous cosplayers. I'm using those connections to promote the game. They're going to voice act in my game, and they're going to cosplay as their own characters to promote it.
That is cool.
It's cool. You're like, I guess going over like different, what is that, like artistic platforms or something? I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this.
Yeah. Well, it's
spanning out to other mediums.
So I had a student that was into cosplay, and it actually now she's working in the film industry as a costume designer. So all this stuff ties together. You know, none of your hobbies are wasted. Okay, like I'm not kidding you. When I was in advertising, the reason why we got the Warhammer account and the Star Wars account and the Star Trek account and all these accounts is because we knew this stuff growing up. So when they called and said, "Oh, you're working on our, we want you to work on this property," like, "Oh, we know this property. Trust me. I've been playing Warhammer since I was 12." So I mean, none of this stuff is cosplay. It's an art form. So, and you're working with artists. So yeah, yeah. Connections are connections. Yep, it's networking. Very cool, though.
They also said, I've worked on films too as a prop master. Connections are connections. It makes the difference. I met the movie director at a convention. I need to get more into the convention scene.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens at conventions.
What I've heard. Like, I always hear, like, all these convention stories, and I'm like, man, to do that.
Yeah, they're great for networking.
They just seem cool. All the conventions I've been at, whether it's, like, I just, like, I've never been a vendor, but I guess, like, as a consumer or a performer, and they've always been really fun.
You know what? If you're going to network, there's no reason why you can't just go as a consumer. That's what I did for a long time. I just took my portfolio with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less fun when you're behind the booth, but you make way
Like,
more
this
money.
might, this might be another, like, good moment for students because, I'm going to speak as, like, an anxious student person trying to get, like, through the door. So if I were to go as a consumer, show up with my portfolio and stuff, I would be worried that I'd be bothering people, basically, because it's like, you have these people, they're doing their job, they're out here to make money. So, yeah, I would be nervous to go up to someone and be like, hey, I'm someone who you have never met. Look at my stuff. So, like, how do you recommend, like, going about that?
Just be polite.
Okay.
Just be polite. And if somebody says no, just thank them for their time and don't bother them anymore. But if I hadn't done exactly that, I would never have got in with DC Comics. Ever. So I'll tell this story. I had been accepted to the DC portfolio review. And I had the business cards for like 12 different editors. And I'd gotten into the portfolio review. I'd been sending them samples for years. For literally like 2 years. Okay? Still hadn't gotten an assignment. I got all these compliments. I got all these like, oh, you're really good. Oh, yeah, you're doing really good. Blah, 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 blah. But no work. And so it was really frustrating. I'm like, well, what am I doing wrong? And I had my portfolio underneath my arm, and I wasn't even going to show it. And I walked up to Clement Suave's table, and Clement has since passed away. He died of cancer. But I'll be eternally grateful to him. An amazing artist and an amazing human being. But he saw my portfolio and he said, do you mind if I take a look at your portfolio while you're looking at my portfolio? I said, sure. And so I passed him my portfolio, and he's looking at my portfolio while I'm looking at his portfolio. And he's like, dude, why aren't you working? And I was like, great question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I said, I have all these contacts at Marvel and DC. I keep sending them samples. You tell me what I'm doing wrong. And he's like, if you want to work at Marvel, this is who you talk to. You want to work at DC, this is who you talk to. And it was basically the person who's in charge of hiring the artists for the books. So even when you get like the connection with the editor, there's basically, there's people who make the assignments. And so you need to have that editor's contact info. The second I sent samples to these editors, I started working for both companies in a matter of days. So had I not shared my portfolio, and like I said, I didn't even really share it. Clement was just like, hey, can I see it? And it went from there. And that happens. It happens all the time, and that's also happened with more than one person. There's been a couple of people where I'm like, you need to talk to this person at DC. So hopefully in another 10 years, you'll hear about an artist that says, hey, Chad Harden was a great guy because, I did a portfolio review and this is what happened. But this is how it's done. And but you have to put yourself out there. And that's the hardest thing for students that I see, because students get nervous, they're self-conscious, and they don't want to bother people because they know people are busy. They know people are there to make money. Just be polite.
Kind of like what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Just be polite. And if they say no, respect the no. Respect the no. And don't be jilted or anything. Just be like, okay, cool. Thank you.
It's nothing personal.
Yeah.
They're just doing their thing.
Well, and people can be having a horrible day. I mean, I've gone to conventions where like I was ready to murder everybody.
Especially like with the press of a convention, I can only imagine.
Right. So, if someone's having a bad day, just steer clear. Like I've been to conventions with professionals when they've basically got an email in the middle of convention finding out they're getting divorced, or you know what I mean, and they're still at the show. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So, and I hear stories like this all the time where like, that guy's such a jerk, and I'm like, really? I know that person. They're not a jerk. Maybe you just went up to him and they were having a bad day. You know what I mean? So, keep all of that in mind. And I'm talking and not drawing. So, you read the comments, Perry. Get us caught up on the comments, and I'll draw.
Yeah, I was gonna see. Okay, yeah, because there's a comment from Ultima Studios and then a comment from JD Smith Digital Artist. So I'm gonna start with Ultima. Digi Artist. Okay, so Ultima says the single best thing you can do is talk to people like they're normal people. The second you put them on a pedestal, that's the moment they view you as a fan rather than a peer.
Cool.
So that
I like that.
That's the advice from which that makes sense. It's like you just go up to them and it's like, hey, hi, I'm a human, you're a human. Let's talk like humans.
Yeah.
It could be cool.
And I call that playing it cool. You do have to play it cool. Nobody wants to deal with the otaku, okay?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Go up with like your anime girl body pillow and it's like,
right. And let me tell you something.
I want to show my
It's okay to be that way, but you have to keep it in check when you're in a professional
like no shame to the body pillows.
Yeah. Well,
no shame to the body pillows whatsoever.
So Johnny, I don't know if Johnny Fuller's still on, and I've told Johnny this story because Johnny was living with me when, like, I got to go to like the DC offices when they moved to Burbank, and like I was in a meeting, I was like 4 feet away from Jim Lee, who's like lifetime idol of mine, and on the inside I was geeking out hardcore, okay? But in the meeting, I just sat there and was like, shook my head and like, yeah, that sounds like a great, play it cool. Even when you don't feel like playing it cool, play it cool. So it's okay to be excited, but you need to learn how to keep yourself in check and act like a professional and keep your emotions under wraps and be a rational human being. So.
Yeah, Ultima
Wow, cool.
kind of expounded on that, saying you got to be professional.
Yeah. Well, he also said Jim Lee is currently working on a comic project for my cousin's movie script. There you go.
Nice.
Your cousin must have some money. Because I know what Jim Lee's rates are. Woo! Yeah. But, yeah.
They go up to...
the GOAT, right?
To go back up to JD Smith, Digi Artist, they said, let them use the restroom in peace. I've actually seen people follow / bug their fave bodybuilders on the way to the toilet at LA Fitness Expo. Which, I feel like that's kind of a given. You don't harass someone in the bathroom.
I've been asked to sign stuff while pooping. People put their books under the door.
Really?
This is the height of Harley. It doesn't happen so much now. It's so much easier now that the Harley hype has died down to be a professional. But yeah. No, I had people stalk my kids. There's a reason why my kids don't go online. They're not on social media. So yeah, Harley fans went a little far. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would just kind of be like a given. If someone's in the bathroom, like
Yeah,
you
that
you
is
don't bother them
not
if
the
they're in a
time.
bathroom.
Yes,
Like,
leave
no,
leave
it
them
is not the
alone.
time.
Yes.
Like a read the room kind of situation. And what is that room? It's the bathroom. Leave them alone.
And there's something that is deeply disturbed about being disturbed while you're going to the bathroom. I don't know if it's evolutionary. Like that's when
I think
our
it's kind of like you're in like a state of vulnerability almost,
yes,
you know?
yeah, that's when the lions and tigers got us. Back when we were, our ancestors were on the plains of Africa as upright apes. That's when the lions ate you. There's something very disturbing about disturbing someone while they're going to the bathroom. Anyway, yeah, that just made the educational stream.
Hey, you know what?
Teacher
Now
of
they
the
know.
year.
Don't,
Oh,
now they've been educated on
yeah.
don't bother someone in the bathroom
Don't bother.
because
Yes.
it's a vulnerable state of being.
Yeah.
So, still learning things. Learning con etiquette.
Yes. Etiquette goes a very far way. Nobody wants to deal with a jerk. If you're a jerk, you better be the most talented jerk ever.
I mean, was thinking about it, I'm like, man, even if you are a jerk, can you get away if you have talent? You would have to have some talent.
Yeah, there are.
In order to, like, wow.
There are. And there's a difference between being a jerk and having an abrasive personality. Mecha Jared, be professional when meeting other comic book professionals. Absolutely. And then Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, you can read Johnny's. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and read Johnny's.
Yeah, read Johnny's.
First time I met Chad, I bought a stack of Harley books. Oh wait, I brought a stack of Harley books to his table as a fan, and I also asked him to come check out my work because I also had a booth. And look at us now. Haha, Perry, you just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Sweet. This thing just gotta bring myself to get back out into cons. Now that, because of course one of the reasons why I've avoided them is because of this whole panorama thing we're dealing with.
Yeah. The good times. I'm so ready
for
for this to all be over. Ugh. I told you Erica's in quarantine. She works.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's in FedEx. And her coworker, I guess they have teams that stock the trucks. And her coworker tested positive yesterday, so she just went and got her booster today. I don't. You know what? She was probably supposed to get a rapid COVID test at the same time, and we forgot to do that. I should text her. Perry, don't let me forget to text her. More time to make, because she needs to. If she doesn't have it, she can't go back to work.
I think I told you that my brother has the Omicron
No, I didn't know.
variant.
Is he at home?
He's in Texas.
Oh, okay.
He's currently in college over in Texas, but he's not showing any symptoms. He seems perfectly fine.
Good.
I'm like, okay, that's chill. That's fine.
Yeah. It's so
stay
weird.
home.
It's so weird how some people get it, doesn't affect them at all, and then other people get it, and it's like it feels like the wheel
It's
of
like
fortune.
devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a comment. It's sad that the sentence "don't bother people while they are pooping" even has to be said. But it does have to be said. Yeah, JD Smith. That's what I've heard too. That if you're gonna get it, Omicron is less severe. So the silver lining.
I've heard
on
the same
that
thing.
Crappy cloud, yeah.
Because on Monday, I think I was telling you about how I think the current prediction, because of the fact that this is how the mutations have gone, the kind of the direction they're going. I think people are hoping that this means that COVID is starting to turn more into a flu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
here's
I think hopefully that's how it works. Is you get the added support from the vaccine, then everybody basically catches it, and then they start building up their own antibodies, and eventually, things go back to normal. But boy, it sure seems like this has been going on for a long time, and it's harshing our buzz, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I told you about my crazy booster fever dreams.
Yes, well, I had him too.
So,
I had him too.
It's
yeah.
it was freaking crazy because
Oh.
I told you I did not have any reaction to the first two.
Yes.
The first because I got the Pfizer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No reaction. Felt totally fine. I get the booster, and again, I felt normal. Like my arm was a little sore, but that's to be expected.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. I go to sleep, and that's when I started feeling a little feverish, and I'm like, okay, this is one of them side effects I've heard about, but still, nothing crazy.
Right.
Then I had some dreams.
Yes.
I woke up
sort of miss mine. I might just keep getting
You
shot
missed
after
yours?
shot until... Because if those dreams were so awesome. I mean, they were some pretty vivid dreams.
Mine were nuts, because I think I told you, my dreams are typically they're pretty vivid and whatnot, and I told you I lucid dream. I can change things while I'm sleeping.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
The one thing I don't have...
Ride.
Yeah, the one thing I don't have are nightmares. I never have nightmares. But sure enough, that night I told you, I had a dream that I was in some crazy cult thing where we were playing games. Okay, kind of like Squid Game, where it's if you lose the game, here's the thing though, you didn't die if you lost the game. You were sent off for purification, which meant you were just getting mutilated.
Well, that's because you were watching Midsummer too.
I was telling Chad before the stream, some of the movies that I'll just put on in the background just so I can have some background noise while I draw are Midsummer, Silence of the Lambs, The Conjuring.
Which, if you haven't watched Midsummer, that's a brutal watch. That is a brutal watch.
It's really something.
It is. It's
I
fun.
love the juxtaposition because I don't think this is spoilery because again, if you haven't seen it by now, it came out years ago.
By now, yeah, it's okay to spoil Midsummer. Yeah.
Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick before I
get it
go
caught
off.
up on comments and then
Okay, let's see. So
look at it like a nature documentary. That's Jared's comment. We might need to scroll up. Let's see. Yeah,
because
holy
let's
cow,
see.
We're getting a ton of comments. All right.
So JD was talking about the Omicron. Ultima Studios was replying to Bong Inc. And yeah, conventions are full of people with no common sense. The stigma about how con-goers don't use deodorant. It's true. It's all true. If anyone needs a deodorant direction, I use Old Spice and I use the Deep Ocean one or the ocean, whatever the heck it is, and it is wonderful. Love that scent. Let's see. JD Smith, DigiArtist said, "Same here, Perry. First two were fine. Sister had me jacked up that first night. Next day, no. Yeah.
Yes.
It was weird." Let's see. Ultima Studio says, "I never remember my dreams." JD Smith said, "Midsummer is a beautiful movie." Johnny Monstar said, "Don't drink the lemonade." Lol. Right. Oh my gosh. JD Smith said, "But you do smell like Terry Crews." I didn't need that, but thanks. I never thought about that, but
Didn't he speak at our graduation at UVU? A couple of years ago? Or was that was the opening for the Nordis Center? They brought out Jason Alexander and... Anyway. Sorry. Keep going. Too many tangents on this stream.
I'm done with the comments on there. It's just now every time I use my deodorant, I'm just gonna think of Terry Crews.
Yep.
So I don't think that's gonna stop me, but it's gonna slightly bother me. I saw this picture where someone had a chewed up Tootsie Roll in their hand, and someone said Terry Crews looks like a chewed up Tootsie Roll, and they had a side by side.
Oh no!
I was
be nice to Terry. Come on.
I'm don't do that to Terry.
Yeah. He's a lovable guy. what was the movie I saw him in that was hysterical? Was it White Chicks?
Chicks.
Yeah.
It's probably White Chicks, if I had to guess.
A classic.
Okay, so Midsummer. One of my favorite things about Midsummer is the overall like juxtaposition between the like the graphic kind of disturbing imagery and like subject matter. Okay, the graphic subject matter, but like the imagery is so light and floral and like it's bright. So many horror movies, it's actually try to build a more like, you know, kind of dark, like, you know, creepy kind of aesthetic, but this was like I think I actually saw it with a friend of mine, and he was saying that the whole vibe just kind of felt like, you know, smothering you with love or like killing you with kindness.
But that's how cults work. And they gravitated towards her because she needed that support group because she lost her support group.
Well, yeah, she had no family, like no kind of family unit.
Yes. Oh no, it's so disturbing.
One thing that I found kind of interesting, for some reason I never like picked up on this little bit of dialogue, but it's when they're having like the first kind of meal together before the, what the heck is it called? The astupa? Or, you know, the elders like throw themselves off of the cliff.
Yes, yeah.
And one of the girls there, she's holding this baby and she's saying like, yeah, her mother is on a pilgrimage. It helps with the detachment because like the babies are raised by everybody. I was like, oh wait, they like deliberately try to detach the baby from the mom.
Child, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, oof. So disturbing. So disturbing.
Oh, it looks like Ultima Studios is going to be dipping out. They said,
okay.
Anywho, back to my recruitment search. Was awesome meeting you. Have a fantastic rest of your stream. It was great meeting you too.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Do it anytime. Anytime you need students to come work.
Katie Smith said, me too, gotta hop off. By the way, Crypto Comics sent me here.
Cool. Good to know.
Thanks.
I'm not wearing my crypto hat, but I need to be.
You had one job.
I know. It's a nice hat. This is my gym hat, though. When I get done here, I'm going to the gym. And I don't want to get my crypto hat all sweaty. And this hat has seen the stuff. This is my Robotech hat. Anyway. Nerds.
It was cool meeting you too, JD. JD Smith, Digi Artist.
And by the way, we hope to have Death Watch up on Crypto Marketplace as soon as we possibly can. So, watch for your crypto comics there on cryptocomics.com.
Ultima said, I'll be back. And we look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Ultima. Jared said the new boosters are supposed to give you super immunity. I hope so. If not, take it for the dreams. Take it for the wild dreams.
Oh my gosh. I saw this thing. So this was a while ago, but I saw this thing that said like, you know, if you never got COVID and you had no effect to the shots, you're basically an X-Men. I was like, man.
I'm not an X-Men.
Wow.
But no, seriously, one of the comments was they don't dream. I don't dream either. I never dream. Never. I was like really bad sleep apnea. Like I looked at my sleep score last night and it's like you were awake the whole time you thought you were sleeping, strangling while choking on your own airways. Good job. So I never remember my dreams, and for those dreams, like they were so vivid and just so crazy. Yeah, it was like, man, that was nuts. I mean, I basically hope that like you just get to dream when you die. That's it. I just want to dream. That's it. I don't need an afterlife. I don't need heavenly choirs. Just one.
Once heard this
long dream at the end.
Heard this idea where like basically when you die, you watch your life all over again. Someone said like, what if like what you're doing right now is
the end
or
of
dead watching your life over again? I was like, don't do that.
It's sort of a fun thought though.
Like I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, man, here I go. I'm just gonna fall down this rabbit hole of just let me question everything. It's reality.
You just got to look at it the right way. I remember when I first started flying, I was terrified of flying. Terrified of flying, right? And I got on the plane with my friend Slade, the same one that has the haunted house. And we were going to his mom's house in Big Bear, California. And it was one of the first times I've ever been on an airplane. And we get on the airplane, I'm like freaking out. He's like, dude, what are you scared of? I'm like, dude, what if we crash? He goes, it will be the best ride ever. You know, and I'm like, okay. And I was, and after that, I was like, okay, that's one way to look at it. You're gonna die, but what a awesome roller coaster ride till the end. So, anyway,
that was kind of because when I was younger, my whole like parents being divorced thing. Me and my brother would fly back and forth between, between their homes, like pretty often. I was on a minimum 4 airplanes a year, 4 flights a year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Because you figure, there and back and then there and back.
Right.
So I got pretty comfortable with flying, and yeah, there were a couple times when it kind of felt like the plane was like falling a little bit, and I was like, "Woo, this is okay."
Yeah, it gives you that tummy rush where you're, whatever happens when you go up and down, your tummy just like, whoop.
You become like weightless for a whole minute.
Yeah.
Even like being younger, I was like, even if this plane did go down, there's nothing I can do about it.
Exactly.
So it kind of started this whole mentality of like, I don't know if this is going to sound morbid, but it was one of those things where it's like, okay, if something happened to me, would I be content with my life right now? Have I said what I need to say? Have I done that I could do? Like, kind of living in like this weird constant state of like,
what regrets do I have? Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of coming to terms with any regrets and whatnot. Man, I was a child and I was like this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, oh. Uh-oh. There's drama outside my studio door.
Oh no.
I don't know if Michaela is fighting with her sisters or if she's yelling at the dog. But my dog's sort of on appeal today, so I hope she didn't throw up the sunflower seeds. So before the stream, my dog got into some sunflower seeds that I had on the floor. And they make her sick. So that would be really semi-funny if she left my studio after eating sunflower seeds and went and barfed on my daughter's bed. Such education. Top quality education here at UVU. Did you get
here,
that?
Kabong Inc. said...
Go ahead.
I'm reading the comments. I'm trying to do my job.
Okay, no, sorry.
Yeah, Kabong Inc. says, I don't think that's morbid. I think that's inspirational. Do what you can while you can mentality.
Yeah.
It's kind of... That's the thing. There's only so much that you can control. What happens. Whatnot. So it's just kind of this thought pattern of like, okay, have I done what I need to do? Good. I chill. If something were to happen, but I, look back on my life, I kind of think of it in this weird way of like, being in the afterlife, kind of looking down at my situation. And it's like, okay, would my dead self be content with everything my living self accomplished?
Yeah.
But I, rest in peace. So far, doing pretty okay. I think I could rest pretty well.
I have one regret, but we won't go into that. Other than that, I did okay.
I don't know why, but now I really crave mac and cheese.
We
I don't know where that came
need
from.
to make that mac and cheese that we saw on TikTok so bad. That should be our next.
Tell you that I did make it.
Intern. No, was it everything you wanted it to be?
Oh my gosh, it was so good. My only gripe with it was that it was kind of salty.
Yeah, but you could add less salt, right? Or less Parmesan.
That's the thing. I would just switch it to unsalted butter.
Okay, there you go.
Because there's so much cheese. There's so much cheese,
Yeah,
but oh my
cheese is
gosh.
salty, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and like it's three different kinds of cheeses. It was like cheddar cheese, Gruyere cheese, and some other cheese that I can't remember at this moment. Right. Like all the different, like there was garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, butter, all this stuff. And then, I cut up some bread, toasted it in a pan, put that on top because I love breadcrumbs on my mac and cheese. That's just me.
I haven't eaten today. Now I'm like, my mouth is filling up with saliva.
Thing to all of the future students who are watching this, even like if it is later, I am terribly sorry, but now I'm on a roll,
I know,
and I am
this
not about
class
to
is
stop.
always this class is always late at night. Everyone's like, ah,
It's like Perry, stop,
ah.
and it's like, but the mac and cheese,
Yeah.
it was so good. Like, okay, when I put the spatula into like the little casserole dish thing that it was in, put the spatula in, pull it up, the cheese pull on that thing.
Was
I got a couple inches
Wow.
of pulled cheese.
Nice. Now I'm
And I was
so
like,
hungry.
I've done it.
Oh, I'm so hungry now. Oh. Jared says, poor doggo. Yes, poor Bo.
Oh,
Poor Bo kitty. She's just trying to be
kitty. Yeah.
a good vacuum. So I'm just adding a little bit of value here. Dark values make things recede, and light values make things advance. So if you need to push something back in a drawing, you add value and it'll push back. So I'm pushing that arm back behind the torso. And then also, you can notice like I put the value, obviously it's acting as a shadow, but I put that on the leg to make the leg recede. And then when I highlight, I'll highlight on the fingers to make them advance.
So while I'm seeing this, couple questions, like just, because this is educational.
Uh-huh.
So, because, sometimes in comics, when people want to do, shadows and whatnot, they'll just fill it in completely black.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there a
Yes.
reason why you would rather do this hatching thing rather than fill it in black?
Well, you really have to develop a good working relationship with your team. So like if you have an inker, if you have a colorist, so I'm used to working with Enrica Angelini, has been my colorist on a lot of my latest projects. Also with Chuck Michael Obach and Jesse Hagee. So I basically have a team of colorists that are like my go-to team. Enrica's probably my number one. Colorist on Temerity as well. Phenomenal. Now working at DC and extremely busy. As Enrica should be, because she's just insanely talented. Lady Rin on Instagram. Make sure you like and follow. Tell her Chad says hi. But I usually just really focus on the line because she does such a great job of just rendering it out. I don't have to worry about it at all. And then other times there's artists that just aren't that advanced. So you basically have to do more of the lifting yourself. So basically if you want to make sure that it looks a certain way, you better draw it that way. Okay? But I tend to like things that focus on line, that don't have a lot of darks. But if you look at the pages, like if you look at the page here, let's just take 5 seconds and look at the pages. Look at how dark the pages are. I mean, this is a pretty dark page. So lots of shadows here. But at the same time, the whole reason why we're doing this is, this panel, the sun has just set, and now it's like the moonlight coming in from the window. So this is going to be a dark panel. So, rather than having your colorist like come in and push everything down, you need to just sort of come in there and hit it with those darks. So it changes. Are you outside in the sunlight? Probably shouldn't have darks. You're never going to have a shadow on a face like this in direct sunlight. The ambient light's going to be bouncing back, right? So you would never go that dark. But if you're in a dark room that has one window and it's only the moonlight coming in, then darks like this are appropriate. Probably not appropriate with the concept art because you don't want the features to be hidden. So Mecha Jared says, don't worry about my dog Charlie will like you one day. Yeah, Charlie tries to Charlie tries to eat me every time I go to Jared's house.
And yeah, the other thing I wanted to bring up, because I know, you've explained this to me a couple times, but the difference between line weight.
Yeah.
You have the much thicker line on the outside and like the thinner lines. You just want to go over like how you determine line weight.
And this will all have to be painted out for concept, which is the next part. So after we get done doing the line art, we'll start painting them up. But for comics, line weight can mean a few things. So like a lot of this line weight down here, I'm indicating light direction. I want it to basically, show where the light source is coming from. And basically it's coming in at an angle like this. So you'll notice how thin my line is, like right here, and then how thick it is here. I'm controlling the lighting angle with my line weights there. I'm going to just undo that and get that out. But yeah, but when I come in to paint it, this is all going to go away, but it'll still serve as a roadmap even when I'm painting it. Because I'll keep my line art on a different layer. And like I said, I probably not the best person to be teaching the digital painting side of things, because for the last 14 years I've done nothing but comics. I did a lot of digital painting when I worked in advertising and video game development, but I've been doing comics almost exclusively for the last 15 years, and comics is all about line. So, but my plan is to basically put it on put the line art on a clipping mask layer, and then I'll just paint it out. So yeah. Anywho, yeah, I'll worry about it later. Long story short, if I could sum that up in one sentence, I'll worry about it later. Now this finger is maybe too long. I'm gonna leave it, but I might have to come in and shorten it later. That might be a possibility. I just got some type of alert. Okay. School
Just looking at all the... Then like looking at all the details and stuff in the skin, I'm like, man, it reminds me of like the trypophobia things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like fear of holes.
Yes. Anything that can, like, if you're drawing a horror comic and you look at an image and it gives you anxiety, you did your job as an artist.
Yeah.
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 Okay, let's push these back. Gonna do a little bit of hatching.
I keep meaning to make a list of just things that, yeah, either make me anxious or that I hate. It's like, I'm gonna use this. You know my little spider character, Turnip?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay, I hate spiders.
Well, is that how, like, you're confronting your fear, or?
Kind of. When I was developing the characters, I was like, okay, know that Belle has some kind of little sidekick. And, I was running through all these different ones. I'm like, okay, what is it? And then one day, I think I was making a cappuccino or something. I was like, oh no. The spider.
Spider, right there.
I just like, for some reason it fit. I was like, great. This means I have to go look up spiders to figure out what kind of spider he is, and then I have to look up reference photos. Fortunately, I had a friend at the time. We're still friends, but she really liked spiders. And she was like, well, let me help you. So I kind of gave her, like, a general description of what I imagined the spider to look like, and then she would look up different spider types. And then, like, I would be in one corner of the room. She would be on the complete opposite side of the room. She would, like, kind of show me pictures on her phone so that, like, I could get a feel for it. And it was an awful process, but eventually found a spider. I'll be honest, I chose a really cute spider, like, as far as spiders go.
Yeah.
It's fitting with the...
It was a harmless spider, though. I mean, 99.9% of the time, they're
it's a jumping spider.
Yeah.
I ended up choosing a little jumping spider because, yeah, like I said, he just fit the environment, the vibe, like, it was great. But then came the part of, like, having to draw him and, like, get used to what spider anatomy looked like, because the thing about this jumping spider is that they have crazy legs.
Yeah.
There's like 3 folds in this leg. And, I had to figure out the face anatomy and that kind of stuff. Like, what does the face of the spider look like? So I'm looking up really close-up pictures of this spider, and I am about to have an aneurysm the whole time.
See,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not afraid of spiders. Matter of fact, I really like spiders, but mice, forget about it. Oh,
Really?
I hate mice. Oh my gosh.
I love mice. They're so cute.
No, they're not. They're fast and they carry disease. Mechajura says, I gotta go check out my suggestions from 340 and then have a good one, Chad. I'll call you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. We appreciate all your support. Mecha Jared.
Hello, Jared.
Colts tend to go for people who have little or no support. I wonder if that was one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean that's what happens with games, right? I mean, they don't have that at home, so they go find it someplace else. We are almost done. Look at how much we got done in this stream. We're killing it. We got like a thumb and a foot.
You're gonna have so much fun with that foot, but
Yeah.
like working out the angle of it.
But I'm also glad like that we're keeping like a pretty good timeline on this, because one of the things I make sure that I do like as a teacher is figure out like, okay, if it takes me this long, how long is it going to take my students?
Yeah.
And the fact that we're basically able to get this done in an hour and a half just goes to show me like, okay, I'm not asking too much. I mean, this is if you had to do this with each one of the characters, and we've basically done this either in class, face to face, or on a live stream, and none of those go beyond 2 hours. So I'm basically asking, if you have to do this for 3 characters for this assignment, now with concept art you have to do it with 5 characters, but for digital painting you have to do it with 3. That's 6 hours worth of work. And with concept art, you're going to be a lot more advanced, a lot more further on as a student. So if you're only supposed to have like a maximum of 10 hours of homework, and then hold on, hang on, wait a second. It's 6 hours of classwork, so you have 12 hours, and we're able to get it done in 6. So even if you're a student and it's going to take you longer, it still should be doable. So that makes me happy. I shouldn't, like I said, it shouldn't ruin your weekend. And we've been talking and chatting and going off on tangents. So one of the things that we did as a class, and all my students hated this. They hated it. Do you remember the mindfulness exercise, Barry?
I was just about to say, he's about to talk about the mindfulness exercise.
He's going to talk about the mindfulness. I know, and mindfulness is a horrible buzz term right now. I'm sure everybody, when I said it, they groaned and their eyes rolled back in their heads, because that's what I did. I'm just like, I hate buzzwords. I hate things like that. But there's a book out called Focus, and it basically just teaches you how to be, how to eliminate distractions in your life. And artists are distracted people. I almost wonder, like, if the percentage of artists is basically just made up of like every ADHD person on the planet. It just seems to be like, to me, to be a very high ratio. I know I am. A lot of my students are. But the whole point of the mindfulness exercise is that if you find your mind wandering, if you're doing something else, don't get frustrated. Just gently bring yourself back to the task at hand, and then just eliminate as many distractions as you can. So here we are. We're doing a live stream. We're talking. We're telling stories. I mean, we're basically in the least mindfulness moment we can possibly be in, right? We're doing, purposefully doing like 3 or 4 things at the same time. If you're focused, you should, even if you're live streaming it yourself, you should be able to do it within the parameters of the assignment. And then also, if you need to like turn and burn, maybe just live stream one yourself, and then take the time and just draw the others when you're not on the live stream. Anyway, I'm not. Long story short, I shouldn't be setting you up to fail with this. You should be able to get this done with your homework in a reasonable amount of time, and it shouldn't be an issue. And then also, maybe don't design your character so it has all this crazy detail. You can definitely simplify. Look at artists like Darwin Cook. Milo. I'm forgetting Milo's last name. There's a lot of artists out there who don't depend on detail the way I do. Look at those artists and copy them because they're just way more effective. And it should speed you up as well. Okay, go ahead, Perry. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna go back to our conversation about like spiders and and ask, how do you feel about snakes?
I love snakes. I had a pet snake.
I love snakes.
Yes. I had a pet snake
named
Hercules growing up. And I'd feed it goldfish.
I want to get... Oh. Okay.
It's the circle of life. Snakes don't eat broccoli.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound like it would fit.
Yeah, you gotta feed predators meat.
I want to get a California king snake and name it Sushi, so he's a California roll.
Aw, that's funny.
Yeah.
You should talk to Joy. Her cousin breeds and sells them.
That's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Just I'm worried to get any other kind of pet because I've got Soviet, still a very young cat, and I'm worried he'll hunt it.
Snakes. Yeah. Yeah, you might. I don't know. I don't know how cats would do with snakes. Cats are super predators, yeah. I don't think I'd have another pet if I had a cat.
I mean, maybe when he gets a little bit older and he matures, because like I said,
down.
he's not even 2.
Yeah.
He's still a very young
good
cat.
time. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, because I've even thought about getting Sobe like a little brother. I was just like, another little kitty. I feel like he would hate it.
You know what? Okay. So, Tacey has wanted a brother or sister for Boo, because Boo goes ballistic whenever she sees another dog. Just absolutely goes nuts, and it's annoying. It's annoying. It's embarrassing, and I'm getting old enough where I might break a hip. Like, cause Boo's 50 pounds. If you've ever gone deep sea fishing and you had a marlin on the line, that's what it's like walking Boo when she sees another dog. I mean,
what kind of breed is she? Remind me.
She is a mix. She's a border collie boxer mix. So super high energy, and anyway, like way stronger than she looks. But so I rescued this British bulldog that was walking out in traffic the other day. I just went and grabbed it and brought it home, and then we posted on Facebook, hey, whose dog is this? And then someone in our homeowners association came over in a couple hours. But after like a couple hours, like Boo learned to like calm down with this dog and act like a normal dog. So I do think that if you buy a pack animal, probably a good idea to have good idea to have more than one pack animal in that pack, because then they know how to act around other dogs. But at the same time, we would never have gotten Boo if we'd known we were moving up to Salt Lake, because we don't even have a yard. I mean, we walk Boo like 20 times a day. We have to. I think dogs are meant to be in a yard, to have places to run, especially Boo. Super high energy. Did you see my Frisbee video I put up on?
I did, yeah.
She's a ball of energy, and it takes all. And I'm rapidly approaching old manhood, so it is harder and harder to like play with her and not break a hip. So, because she's, like I said, she's a lot of fun though. My kids love her. And I guess that's what matters. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done. Are you seeing any spots that look undone to you? I think we got the line work done. Let's turn off the silhouette layer. See if we spot any errors. I think that looks pretty good.
Oh,
just gonna
cool.
come in and add just a little bit more hatching to some of these undersides. I hope everyone had a fun stream. Now that we have the character designs done for the hero, the villain, and I might do a few more. I mean, like I said, our vampires are definitely going to be shapeshifters, so this is not like the only form our vampires are going to take in Death Watch. I might go back and do.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fun little.
Yeah.
Kind of like a fun little thing to tell people, because it's like, well, And I think that would also be really fun for like fan art. 'Cause
Yeah.
that means the vampires can look however you want
However
them
you want them.
to.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like
Yep.
design your own vampire.
Exactly. Oh, you want a vampire that does this? There you go.
It's like what would your Death Watch vampire look like?
Right. Well, and that's also the type of thing that makes your fans, want to be part of the community and participate. You definitely, you want your fans to feel like they're free to do what they can in your universe and not limit their creativity. I will never understand creators that try to limit what fans do.
Because it's like they're interacting, they're having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought a great example of that was Elijah Wood and help me out, Sam, the actor Sam.
I have no idea what the actor.
Sean Austin. They were in this interview, and there's a guy, and he's trying to be snarky and sort of mean and whatever, and he was like, there's a lot of people that say that this is all a giant metaphor for Sam and Frodo being gay, and Elijah Wood was like, if that's what you like, awesome, like just bulletproof. It was so beautiful. It's like, hey, if that's like look at all the fanfic for Star Trek, the Spock Kirk fanfic.
I saw Neil Gaiman kind of say the same thing about Good Omens.
Right, exactly. Like if that is what you're into, have fun. Let it go. But there's other people that are like, I don't want anyone doing anything with my this is mine. Like, no, it's not yours. Once it's yours when you're creating it, but once you let it out into the world, it is no longer yours.
You have no control at that point. Yeah,
you have no control.
One thing you have control over is like when the next little bit is going to be released.
Yeah. Yep.
People will run with it and do what they want.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, more power to them.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're engaging. They're having fun.
Exactly. Let them have fun. That's
Build
why
a little
you did
community
it.
around it.
That's why you did it. That's why you created it. So anyway, I'll never understand creators that are that way. It's so futile, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. But they're out there. They're everywhere. And I mean, that's the whole thing about art too. And that's the hard thing about being an art teacher, where it's just like, I tell students all the time, I'm like, hey, take this to another teacher and get their point of view. Get as many points of view as you can and see what their reaction is. Because it's so unfair to a lot of students just to be graded on the likes of one person. The tastes of one person. Because I've literally seen stuff where I'm like going, oh man, and I look at it and I'm just like, oh, I hate that. And then there's another art teacher and they're like, oh, this is brilliant. So anyway,
it's all just taste and preference.
It is. It absolutely is. So anywho, that's why like 90% of my grading is like, did you do the homework? Did you actually do it? You did it? Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? That's
well, that brings up the whole bring up the whole discussion of how subjective art can be.
Yeah.
There's no one right way to do things because everyone will do it differently.
Yeah. No. But it hurts sometimes to be like the only comic book person on faculty, because there are some battles there. There are some battles there. Let me tell you.
I can imagine.
I think I need to be done with this. I think I'm just messing with it for the sake of messing. Perry, are you seeing any glaring? You know what? We didn't flip it. Should we flip it?
Sure. Why not?
It holds up during the flip. I think we're done. I'm going to turn back this onto this layer.
I think it flipped pretty well.
Yeah. I didn't see any.
The other thing, we've almost been streaming for like 2 hours, so it might be good to take like a retina break.
Yeah. I think we're done. So, yeah. But, hey, thank you, everyone, for joining us. I thought we had a great stream today. Hopefully this helps you with your digital painting or concept art homework. Like and follow. We're going to be doing this all the time, even outside of school. We're constantly doing comic book projects, and art happens in weird places. So, anywho, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Perry, for being here. Anything you want to plug, Perry, before we go? I'm gonna take a sip.
Not really.
You
Just
plug.
if you enjoyed listening to my remarks and my comments, whatnot, then you can follow me on Instagram. I'm hoping to get streaming on Twitch here pretty soon because I'm going to be working on my own comic. You can just follow me at Parasite. It's spelled like pear, like the fruit, and then ROSIT or something. I don't know. It's Parasite.
We're gonna have to figure out these bots so you guys can plug. We're gonna have to figure that out. I'm sure Ray knows. Hopefully when Ray comes
probably.
back. Yeah. Ray knows. Anywho. Okay, that's it. Everyone, have a fun weekend, and we will see you next Thursday. Thanks for being with us.